I like the name of this show, which is Make Media Matter, and the relationship between media and matter, or that media is matter, seems to be mattering to people a lot more. But the way in which matter seems to be coming to the forefront for, at one level it's a movement back, it seems, to some kind of sense of texture and the kind of materiality that you get in ceramics or textiles, yet it's always mediated through an electronic signal. And what kind of matter is that? And then I think that we get to these very strange kind of existential questions about who is watching, who is interacting, who is playing with this media, and what is the impact of that on the media, and what is the relationship between the material processes of the brain, the material processes of media, and how much can they be entangled. And this just becomes very strange to me and very interesting and very exciting. The idea that somehow working through processes that some of which are very intangible, some of which are happening at a great remove because you're typing on a computer and that is inputting commands to some kind of a program, some kind of algorithm that spits something out, and then people are putting that, layering that with actual materials, paper, photocopiers, things that change material, and then they're thinking about the process of their own minds.
Not this, that. You are that, art this thou, thou art that, art thou that, not this, it's not this, that, thou art not that, thou art this.
So I think one of the things that's absolutely critical to understanding media art practices today is to see it in an expanding field of cultural production. Right? That the technological frameworks within which we're operating as media artists are part and parcel of daily life, but also subject to significant investment and reflection in the context of, on the one hand, large industry, commercial industries, but on the other hand, a set of ad hoc or DIY practices which enable one to redirect some of the energy and some of the effort and some of the intention to other directions. So I think some of the important questions any media artist needs to be asking today involve: how are these operations produced? What are these conditions under which we engage with media in expanded terrains of everyday life? How do we encounter media throughout the course of our days? And in what ways are we engaging with media systems which, to a certain extent, are closed from our view, are inaccessible to our understanding? Quite often one has to scratch the surface to reveal the surface. And in doing so, we understand something about the infrastructures, the devices, the methodologies, and ultimately ideologies supporting contemporary informatics regimes.
The idea for this exhibition has been to challenge the distinction between new and old in media, to explore how analog and digital media function together in the flux of events. So the artworks in this show refer to both past and future, their material body, surface, and functionality in form of sound, video, and code.
What's like a real good memory of this neighborhood for you?
Well, I have more than one, actually. Yeah, I do have more than one. I have a lot of evil ones also, but I have more than one good memory. Okay, to tell you the truth, though, I was house. Either this one or either that one, or the third one. I used to live in one of these houses. I can't know which one I lived in. In the top floor.
Third floor?
Yes.
That was that one.
Okay, that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
We all got it there.
Yadira Jacqueline Serrano Rodríguez. María Guadalupe Muñoz Guzmán.
Eleazar Olivo Ramos.
María del Pilar Piñón Hernández.
One aspect of critical media practice today involves looking at the black box. Right? We live in a moment where increasing parts of our lives are being, in a sense, directed or influenced or engaged by a set of devices, techniques, procedures that we are completely unaware of, or at least don't understand well. Machine learning, for example, deep learning, neural networks are techniques in computer science which are able to ingest vast amounts of data and develop insights about that data which are beyond the capacities not just of a general public, but of the programs themselves sometimes in terms of understanding what actually is happening. So this practice, this cultural technique of opening up the black box, revealing the inner contents, and understanding the kind of techniques and practices in play with these algorithms is of critical importance. Media artists are at the forefront of developing methods and techniques by which that's done.
I hope that what I have said hasn't hurt you.
I hope that what I have said
I
hasn't
hope
hurt you.
that what I have said hasn't hurt you too much.
I hope that what I have
I
said
hope that
hasn't
what I
hurt you
have
too
said
much.
hasn't hurt you too much.
I hope that
I
what
hope
I
that
have said
what I have
hasn't
said
hurt you too
hasn't hurt
much.
you too much.
I hope that what I have
said
said
hasn't hurt you too much.
I've been listening recently to something that was talking about a quantum theory of gravity and thinking about just the ways in which we have yet to understand the entanglement between matter, energy in terms of light, electronics, and space. And weirdly, the pieces that I'm seeing here seem to be tackling these questions which physicists are also tackling.
Taking things apart, recircuiting, reorganizing, reframing are techniques and practices which enable one to get at how things work. How we make media matter is by exposing or revealing its inner workings to a broader public. In this sense, media art practice has an educational component to it, beyond just an expressive and a communicative dimension.
A constant quiet noise. No sound. Silence. Sound of rippling water. Noise of a bag rustling in the wind. Noise of a squeaky part in a fan.
I think this exhibition, Make Media Matter, curated by Mani Mehrvarz, builds on the legacy of the Department of Media Study at UB, its experimental nature, and brings it into the 20th century and charts paths forward to how critical media practices might engage the broader social, cultural, political, and ethical issues in play in the world around us.